Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. Our first official video on the Red Means No channel. And I know I say first official. Technically, we had our first unofficial video. This one is what I want this channel to be about, which is complete and utter creative freedom. But yes, I'm making it about Fortnite, which is providing a little bit of cognitive dissonance for me because, I probably gave the illusion this was going to be a philosophical channel where we make it emotional and explore the complexities of life. And now we're talking about a child's game. Here's the deal. I'll be completely honest. I love Fortnite, and I probably love it too much. I started playing in about 2017, which was also the year I started my career as a teacher. And after long days on the job, truthfully, I know it sounds trite, but I would come home and I would load up with my friends and we would play and we would talk about our days at work because we were all starting different careers in different parts of the country. And it helped me and still helps me keep in touch with some buddies that I've known for a long time that I don't get to see very much. So it's about more than just squad wiping, baby. But I have to share this before we talk about the best places to live, because that's what this video is all about. Where's the best place to live on the Fortnite map? I have a 10% win percentage. I have 1,600 wins, which is in the top 0.4% of all Fortnite players. My KD is atrocious, awful. I'm not good at the game. I'm really good at hiding in bushes and being strategic. Outside of that, I have no use to a squad whatsoever. I do have 17,000 kills. I've played 16,000 matches for a total of 1,863 hours, which equates to 77.6 days. But I don't regret any of it. So let's talk about how this video is going to work. We're only going to be ranking places that offer residential housing. So no, places like Junk Junction that do not have any place to live, although they have a battered basketball court, we're not ranking them. Here's how we're ranking each of these. Cost of living, climate, community, equaling an overall score. All of these will be ranked out of 5. We're going to go worst to best based on these categories: awful, bad, fine, good, and great. These are the places we are going to rank. They have not been capitalized in this part of the video, but I promise you they will be starting now. The worst place to live on the Fortnite map. And I know it may come as a surprise. This is probably highly sought after territory for a lot of people, not for me. Loot Lake, awful. And the word that comes to mind is inconvenient. Why would I want to take a boat to and from my house? Oh, you want to live on Loot Lake? Congrats. You have a choice of 2 houses, or you can live on a tent on this little island. Guys, this does not appeal to me whatsoever. Cost of living also has to be incredibly expensive. Climate, fine. We'll give it a 3 out of 5, but there's no community at all. Where are you getting groceries, right? Who are your neighbors? You know what I mean? I think there's a telescope sitting over here. You gonna be a peeping Tom through a telescope? 4 out of 15. Moving on. And again, this is a popular place, the OGs. You may not have touched Fortnite for 2 years, and you stumbled across this video, and you're like, oh gosh, what's this all about? It's 2024, and this guy's talking about Fortnite as a 30-year-old. I got to see what he's... Tilted Towers, I get it, guys. Very popular drop spot. To me, it reminds me of Chicago. I've been to Chicago 2 times in my life. The first time I said I'd never go back. The second time I said I'd never go back. I don't enjoy Chicago. Too much going on. The buildings are too tall. The lines of sight are awful. It just is busy all the time. That's how I envision Tilted Towers. Cost of living, it's got to be very expensive to live there. The climate may be all right. I don't see anything wrong with what you're getting into as far as climate there, but the community, I just feel like it's so busy, you're not going to know anybody, okay? So I give this a 5 out of 15 for my total livability scale. Happy Hamlet, a very forgotten about POI on the map, one that we have not seen in quite some years. The word that comes to mind is burr. I don't like being cold. I hate being cold. In fact, being cold is one of the worst things besides being hungry, potentially, and being tired. Being hungry, tired, and cold. If you're all 3 of those, watch out. Awful place to live. I think it would be cheaper than Tilted Towers and Loot Lake, but still fairly expensive. Again, climate gets a 0 out of 5 for me. Community, though, it looks nice. Like, it looks like a place where people would be jolly. Maybe you get carolers from time to time. Maybe year-round caroling. I don't know. Outside of that, it's just not for me. I give it an overall 5 out of 15. Snobby Shores. The one thing that sticks out to me is natural disasters. This is definitely on a fault line. This is earthquake ground zero. And if an earthquake's not enough, what about a hurricane? I mean, I don't know if hurricanes and earthquakes happen geographically in the same spots. Maybe I should know that. I don't know that, but I say this looks like a place that could get both hurricanes and earthquakes, and I don't want to live there. Cost of living, also, I think it's probably pretty expensive. I mean, it's not a gated community. Every house is its own gated community. Are you kidding me? Stone walls around every house? Okay, that just screams expensive. Climate, like I said, a little bit of a risk there. And the community. What community has 8-foot tall walls around every house? Give me a break. 6 out of 15. Okay, bad. Tomato Town. Here's why. You got one house to pick from. You're not picking from anything if it's one house. You're living in that house behind a pizza shack. Guys, this screams eminent domain. At any point in time, the tomato head can call upon the local authorities and governing boards and have you out of that house for a very underpriced compensation. Okay? I'm worried. If you choose to live in Tomato Town, your time may be limited. But in the meantime, I think it's probably a pretty cheap place to live. Looks kind of Midwesty, not a lot around there, right? It looks like, it's not highly sought after. It would be pretty cheap. The climate also looks okay, but the community, again, awful. No neighbors. You got one pizza place. You're kind of far away from everything else. I give it a 7 out of 15. It's bad. You know what's also bad? Craggy cliffs. Why? Because it smells like fish everywhere you go. I don't know if you like the smell of fish. I'm not even allowed to eat tuna when my wife's home. If I eat tuna, she has to be gone. I have to rinse out the tuna container, whatever it is. I'm kind of a pouch guy as opposed to a can guy. I have to rinse out the pouch, and most of the time she would like it if I took the trash out of the house afterwards. She hates tuna. So Craggy Cliffs, we're not moving there. I'm sorry. It also looks expensive. It's coastal, right? Look at these homes. They're very nice. Climate would probably be okay. Community also looks fairly welcoming, but because of the fish and the high cost of living, we're giving it a bad 7 out of 15. Fatal Fields, we're moving on to the fine category. Fatal Fields is fine, but I think it's just too far from food. I'm a guy who likes to eat. What am I going to eat? Corn and butcher my own meats? I don't know. Again, you get one pick. You get one house. Again, no community. Nobody lives around here. It's just you and the farmlands. I've never been a farmland guy. I've been a city guy my whole life. I have no interest in moving, with outside of 10 miles of a Walmart. Like, can you imagine? You know how many times I need something and how easy it is to hop in my car and drive 5 minutes to a place that will have it? If you live in Fatal Fields, you run out of whatever the case may be. Good luck. You're going to be driving. I mean, uphill both ways. It's not going to be good. So I just am not a farm guy. No interest in maintaining and owning all of that land, all of those crops, all of those sheds, all of those barns, all of those silos. We're moving on, 9 out of 15. Misty Meadows. And this is one where I have to sit and say, am I being too harsh? Because, again, it's kind of like a happy hamlet vibe, but with a little bit more agreeable weather. However, it's giving Seattle, maybe a little bit rainy, maybe a little bit overcast, 50-degree days. I realize this picture is sunny, but we've all dropped Misty Meadows, and we know how it is. You got a mountain over there, you got coastline behind. Weather patterns do things with that stuff, I think. Cost of living, I think it'd be fair. Climate, again, hit and miss, but mostly miss. But the community does look nice. It looks like it would be bustling community, lots of things to do, lots of places to eat, lots of people to see. So I'll give it a 9 out of 15. It's fine. Lazy Lake is also fine and actually would be up there. But I think it's going to be too expensive. Look at this place. I mean, massive. Whatever that is in the middle, I believe maybe it sells cars. There's always a car right in here. I don't know if it's a car deal. I don't know what it is. But it's also apartments, right? Big apartments. You got some small houses on the outside here. You got a place with a pool, maybe a hotel. Like, it just looks expensive, right? But the climate, I think, would be good, and the community looks great. It looks like it would be diverse. A lot of young, a lot of middle age, a lot of old, a lot of everything, right? But I can't get over the price tag. We're giving it a 9 out of 15. It's fine, but no. Sweaty Sands, we're moving on to the good category. This looks like Miami, but low-key, okay? Again, Miami and Chicago are probably, I don't know anything. I'm going to say this like I know. Miami and Chicago are probably similar in ways that I would dislike, as in very busy, very crowded, very chaotic, very loud. Not interested in that. This looks like a quiet Miami. Correct me if I'm wrong. Got a little skate park back here, gas station, a little marina. Is that a marina? It's a dock. I don't know what a marina is. You got a pool. Another pool? Is that the only pool? There might be more pools. You got even a trailer park and a luxury condo. Like, what place is offering you a trailer park and a luxury condo? I mean, it's affordable housing and it's luxury housing. This may be underrated. I may have scored this too low. Cost of living, I think it would be expensive in the luxury condo. Maybe it's cheap there. I should have accounted for this. I'm not going to go back and edit it, but I'm going to admit my mistakes. I think Sweaty Sands is slept on. It could be better than a 10 out of 15. Climate, perfect. Community, great. Again, diverse. Lots of communities, cultures, people, ages, sizes, widths. Lots of widths around here at Sweaty Sands. 10 out of 15. Good place to live. Holly Hedges, a little too cookie cutter. All right, if we want to talk about the diversity that Sweaty Sands would offer you, Holly Hedges, probably a lot of Holly hedge fund managers, if you know what I'm saying. It would be fine, but it's going to take a knock at the community setting. Everybody is probably going to act like they're your buddy, but really nobody likes you, and everybody's kind of worried about themselves. That's the vibe I get. Again, could be totally wrong, but that's kind of what I'm feeling here. Climate looks great, though. Cost of living looks affordable. But again, hedge fund managers may live in nicer houses, so I maybe missed the mark there. But these are all, middle income houses for the most part. I don't know what this place is in the middle. I don't know what that place is in the middle. I've never figured it out. They've got all kinds of trinkets and gnomes and gadgets and wheelbarrows. Maybe it's like a Lowe's. I guess it's probably like a Lowe's. It's good. Whatever. Paradise Palms, no allergies. Guys, I'm a big allergy guy. I can't shake them. Springtime, they hit hard. Fall, they hit harder. I don't know what it is about the leaves changing and falling. A harvest, maybe it's a harvest thing. I don't know, but my nose runs and I get irritated. So Paradise Palms, arid, dry, no allergies. So I'm told Arizona doesn't have allergies, but maybe that's incorrect. I say things and I don't know if they're true. I just repeat information. This place would be good though. Expensive. It's very sweaty sandy without the trailer park. So it's more expensive than Sweaty Sands. Great climate, perfect climate. Again, diverse community, all ages, all shapes, and all widths. So 10 out of 15, good. Paradise Palms. Retail Row, also good, and we're getting so close. Like, we are on the cusp of exceptional. The problem is, I think it's just a little too busy. Living that close to all those shopping centers, I just think I personally would be a little too overwhelmed at the amount of traffic in this area. You see a taxi here, right? That kind of alludes to the fact that there's action, all right? And there's a lot, maybe too much action for me. So, but it has everything that I want in a community. It has I would imagine, a fairly affordable cost of living, average climate. But again, that community, something's holding me back there. A little too busy. 10 out of 15, good. Oh boy, we've arrived. We've arrived at the great category. These are places that if I had to pick my top 3, I'll give you a hint, there's 3 of them. These are what I would pick. We'll go with Salty Springs first. And as I was making this, I thought, am I overrating this a bit? Have I kind of played chalk, to use a sports metaphor? Is Salty Springs just a little bit too obvious of a pick? Maybe. Cost of living, I think, would be very affordable. Climate, I think, would be perfect, centrally located. So the community, I think, again, lots of action around, not necessarily there, right? There's not a lot to do in the neighborhood per se, but it's centrally located. Lots of things to do around and close by. But again, it's kind of Holly Hedges. It's kind of cookie cutter. It's kind of, are we really friends type of neighbors. So at the end of the day, though, this reminds me a lot of home. Okay, not really. But I think it would be an acceptable place to live. We'll give it an 11 out of 15. This is chalky. This is flat out chalky. I mean, it's in the name. Pleasant Park. Why would you not want to live at a place called Pleasant Park? This is great. Cost of living affordable. Climate perfect. I mean, this place has seasons, but mild winters, which is the key. And it has community. I mean, if you live somewhere where there's a soccer field in the neighborhood with goals up, with nets on them, and you got a gas station, and you got a pavilion in the middle that can host block parties, if you will. I mean, this is a nice community, a nice establishment. I don't know how you would argue that this is not at least a 12 out of 15. It's a great place to live, but I need a very important drum roll, please. All right. You know why? Because we're about to unveil the best place to live on the Fortnite map, and that is Greasy Grove. What? Greasy Grove. Yes. Winner, winner, burger dinner. Greasy Grove. Let me tell you why. It's incredibly affordable. I mean, for all we know, it's a college town. Housing is there's more housing to go around than anyone knows. You can get a house for cheap, right? The climate perfect, just mild. I'm thinking like a Tennessee, like a lower South Tennessee type of a feel. Just everything's kind of mild, perfect. Community. You got people of all ages, sizes, and widths. Okay, colors, creeds, beliefs, cultures. It's got everything, rich, poor, and in between. It's got basketball, and more importantly, it's got fried food. Fried food with a fried food mascot sticking his tongue out, welcoming you to the neighborhood when you pull in. When you have relatives over, the first thing they see is the Durr Burger. And you know what they say? I'm home. I'm home. And I didn't even know this was home until I got here. You got Big Dick Sporting Goods in the middle. All right? Tents for sale. You need a canoe? There's no rivers around, but we sell canoes. It's a beautiful thing. I love Greasy Grove. I love Greasy Grove, and I would live there tomorrow. If I had the opportunity. We give it a 14 out of 15. I can't speak about the allergies, probably is what's holding it back. I have allergies, guys, and I can see those are deciduous trees. So they're going to lose their leaves and I'm going to sneeze, okay? And we don't like that. So let's look at it all. Okay? Awful. Loot Lake, Tilted, and Happy Hamlet. Not going to cut it. Bad. Snobby, Tomato Town, and Craggy. Not going to cut it. You could talk me into Fatal Fields, Misty Meadows, and Lazy Lakes, and a good place to live, Sweaty Sands, Holly Hedges, Paradise Palms, and Retail Row. But if I had my pick of any 3 places to live on any Fortnite map in the history of Fortnite maps, I would say Salty Springs, Pleasant Park, and Greasy Grove. Thank you all very much. If I missed any obvious places that you would call home, please drop them down below in the place where you bang the keys, and we shall see you on the next video, which could be about literally anything. You want to stay tuned for that. See ya then.